welcome back to another edition of Random Videos. And I know it's been a while. Too much has been going on, several changes, and I haven't had time to actually sit and create these short random videos. But now that I'm here, let's talk about the most pestering word, and not just word of the year or even word of the decade. It could be word of the generation. I'm talking about work, how we look at work. And it's interesting that this word has gone through sea changes, in the sense that what happened before pandemic and what happened after pandemic, they are two different entities. And I can't think of any other aspect related to human life that has been affected more than work. To give you a better sense, if you ask someone who was born in this century, who recently started joining the workforce, what they think of this word, and then ask someone from uh, my generation, people from my generation, or someone who belong to older generation, and you'll realize that how we look at work has not only changed; it has obviously changed a lot, but that's not it. It's more about how work itself as a concept has changed. So to lazily label Gen Z or even the millennials as lazy or kamcho, to use a desi slang, is is uh, is intellectual rubbishry, because it doesn't gauge how human societies move forward. If a progressive country like Sweden or even France are thinking of instituting 4 days work or whatever, like they're extending weekends from 2 to 3 days or even pushing for 4 days. I strongly believe that maybe that is a peek into the future, because work, the way we measure work, and all these MBA laden words like KRA, KPI, OKR, and uh, all these words don't really help us understand the two things, like what a person is doing and what are the outcomes. More often than not, we reach a conclusion where we understand why exactly all the rubbish content that is going live on LinkedIn, where bragging or even you know fictionalizing one's achievements has become a norm. Like why exactly that has become so common. If you sit down and try to understand, or at least read through all the changes that have taken place in the workforce, how people have been working, how the hours matter, why certain jobs pay you certain amount, and why certain jobs which are much more impactful don't, then that is your answer. That tells you everything that you need to know about the system. So so if you really want to get, you can't obviously get ahead of the time, but if you want to look at where we are going, and notwithstanding the changes that are taking place on the AI front, because if you really uh, see what is going on there, then it's almost scary. But let's keep the technological aspects aside and let's focus on the human elements. Then also it's easy to accept that our understanding of work and the outcome are pretty flawed. Our understandings are so limited that certain industries, the way things are going in ad agencies right now, and how a lot of disruptions are taking place on the creative side, and even on the labor side, you'll notice what happened with the layoffs in Amazon, in so many warehouse centric companies, that will also help you understand so much that we never really cared about, because for us what really mattered was us and our growth, which is basically a euphemism for salary, and we just focused on our little world, and we never cared about how the how it affects the larger canvas. We never cared when the pandemic happened, how it really affected those whose life literally went through uh, indescribable pains. Us, like the uh, almost like privileged lot who could stay at home and work, we didn't realize that so many things are unraveling. But in the past 3 years, almost 3 years, we've noticed, if you bother to notice, that maybe we need to revisit this thing and ask ourselves, like, when people say that they are busy, why exactly, what really are the outcomes that they're looking for. And when people ask each other what sort of work you're doing, then also we can dig deeper and try to understand why people do what they do. To say that I do it for money uh, is very practical, but at the same time very banal. So yeah, that is something that I thought, like, I will talk about, although obviously this doesn't make any difference, but I thought, okay, we'll talk about it. But I'll end it on a note that takes me back 6 7 years, when I was having a conversation about work, and my friend Vivek, he said something which is very interesting, which has remained interesting. He said that if everyone do their work, just do their work, then the world will be a much better place. That's it. He said the world is fucked up because people are not doing their job. Now, this is a very salient feature, right? Like when you distinguish between work and job, but that is where the entire gap is. And to 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 really understand this, I believe that there has to be a deeper conversation, which obviously this channel is incapable of, because this is more about randomness, this is more about random thoughts, and it's more about asking questions and less about revealing the answers, because I don't know the answers anyway. But if you really want to know answers, then I'm pretty sure there are philosophers who have written about this. There are still philosophers who are doing a lot of statistic laden work, and they might help us take a look at the future. I've mentioned in my previous sorry videos, that I started reading Mahabharata, and that is where there's a very very interesting episode where Arjuna says that he's not he doesn't want to fulfill his work as a warrior. And that is everything we need to know about you, me, because we all have those days. Uh, Hopefully not so frequently, but when we wake up and we don't want to go to work because we still don't know what exactly is it that we are doing. Because there's a huge difference between having a job and uh, having meaningful work. Just like there's a lot of difference between being jobful and being jobless. Obviously, we don't talk about it because we have a very shallow understanding of these topics. And maybe that explains why most of us feel unfulfilled at what we do, or at least want to do.